Hello and good afternoon and welcome to this afternoon's Kitchen Table Talk. It's Alison Soughton here again, Team Vicar in Melksham Team Ministry. And I'm coming to you today from Melksham having a glorious sunny day. The kind of day that makes you feel glad to feel the sun on your face, to watch the breeze in the trees and to give thanks for the wonder of the world that we live in. This morning I went for a meeting with Hannah, who's our Children's and Families Coordinator. Hannah and I were talking about an upcoming Messy Church Summer Club that will be very different this year than it usually looks. But we were thinking about stones in connection with an activity for Messy Church Summer Club. And it really made me start to think about stones. I have long had a real joy in looking at different stones. I've put some of the ones in my vase on the table, you might see, but I do tend to occasionally bring one home in my pocket, which I know technically we're not allowed to do. But I've been doing it since I was a very young girl, so I blame it on ignorance mostly to start with. I was raised in Ardrishick in Argyll, which is on the edge of Loch Fyne. And when I was growing up, we used to go down to Rocky Beach. That kind of gives you an idea of what the beach was like. It was indeed rocky. It had split rock on it that you could climb up to the top of, and it was a huge lump of granite with a huge split down the middle of it. And all around on the beach were all sorts of stones. Some of them were really hard and sharp and would make you go ouch as you tried to go over the top of them to go in for a paddle or to learn to swim. Others were smooth, different colour, different shapes. In amongst them, of course, there would be many shells and beautiful just bits of timber washed in on the shores. Do you ever think about that when you look at a rock or a stone? Do you ever think about the journey it's been on? Just like you and I, it too has a journey. It would have begun on something much bigger, a solid piece of rock, and chipped away by the elements, it would fall off and go on its own journey, tumbling, whether it's in the frothiness of a Scottish loch or down in the riverbed, maybe in the Avon, wherever. The stones go on a journey and their lives are changed by some of the things that happen to them. Sometimes for us it can feel like we are a stone bashed about in the sea, maybe on a tumble that we feel like we can't quite stop, don't know how to stop. And yet there is something truly wonderful about a stone, whether it is hard and granity or smooth, each one individual, no two stones anywhere in the world identical, no two people anywhere in the world identical. We all respond to the movement of life around us in different ways. Some of us stay spiky, maybe with some hard edges. Some of us are smoothed to the point of almost too smooth, a chalkiness that is so fragile and easily hurt. In the Bible, in the first letter to Peter, we read, "Come to Jesus Christ. He is the living stone that people have rejected, but which God has chosen and highly honoured. And now you are living stones that are being used to build a spiritual house. You are also a group of holy priests, and with the help of Jesus Christ, you will offer sacrifices that please God. It is just as God says in the scriptures, 'Look, I am placing in Zion a choice and precious cornerstone. No one who has faith in that one will be disappointed.'" Jesus is known to Christians as the cornerstone of our lives. The one piece of rock or stone in our life that is always there, always reliable, unchanging. But did you notice in that passage in 1 Peter that it tells us that we are all living stones? And in the Christian story, that means that we build upon ourselves, stone by stone by stone, to make the walls of our holy temple. You and I are the lives that create these beautiful living stones. Living stones bringing life. Living stones changing, evolving, growing into what God would have us be. I once had a conversation with somebody about their diamond ring. It was huge. I don't know if you've ever noticed, I don't have a diamond ring. When I got engaged to Derek, he gave me a beautiful moonstone, which I love very dearly. But it's not a huge big rock of diamond. My friend, however, that I was talking to did have a huge big rock of diamond. And everyone around her was looking at it, admiring it, and saying, wow, how wonderful, how great, how beautiful that is. And she just said, well, really it's just a lump of coal that's worked a bit harder than everything else. Everyone laughed. But that notion that we all begin life as one thing and we are changed and transformed into something more beautiful by the things that happen to us, by our responses to it, and by God's love for us, always helping us to become that living stone, helping us to be able to shape and form ourselves and respond to the tumbles and turns and twists of life. But to know in that sense of trust and faith that we're not on our own as we get tossed and tumbled around in the froth of a sea or in the mud of a riverbank. That wherever we feel we are, God is with us, and Jesus, our cornerstone, is there, unchanging, and offering us love, strength, and support. Next time you go for a walk on a beach, maybe cast your eyes down and pay attention to what you see beneath you. And imagine yourself. What kind of stone would you be if you were to draw a picture of yourself as a stone? Would you be smooth, soft, hard, flinty? Would you have a big hole in the middle of you? How would you be? How are you changing? How is God transforming you? How is life moving you into something different and something that grows in beauty year by year? Whatever it is that you feel you are, know that you are precious in the sight of God, whether you're a lump of coal or a dazzling diamond. Whatever you are blessed and loved and a living stone, part of God's creation. Take care for now. Don't forget to read the notices. Book a green tea if you haven't yet. And we'll be with you on Sunday morning for worship. And then back again next week, Tuesday through to Friday. Take care and God bless. Don't forget to call if you want to chat. Text, like or grump. Keep in touch. Bye for now.